Welcome to a podcast capturing the antics of two geeks who talk about video game culture and influence, both old and new, all through chaotic banter and tangential tangents that make no sense. My name is Mask. This is my pal Red.
Thank you, good night. I'll be here all week.
And together we make the Reddmasq Podcast. This is episode 30. Hey, listeners, do you want to hear a secret? Reader's Rewind is coming out on December 10th here. Don't tell Red, though. He won't understand how cool Power Rangers is. I mean, they had a whole revival on Netflix, don't you know? And this game is going to be a 5-player beat-em-up. That's rare. That is, like, one of its kind. There's, like, no 5-player games out there right now. Oh, and you're on speed bikes. Oh, and you're going through, like, carnival levels, like it's Turtles in Time. Oh, and it's in, like, pixelated 2D. Oh, and there's, like, a Saturn level, and it's really cool. Power Rangers is dorky, geeky, and everything I love about beat-em-ups. I can't wait for this one.
Rewind is coming out December 10th?
I fucking whispered it to you. How did you hear me? How did you get in here? This is my house. I have a shotgun.
This is my house now.
Damn it. Oh my god, yeah. This game looks very exciting. You get to play as all the classic Rangers, the Gray Ranger as well, who has a gun. Which is always fun.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
It is everything you would expect out of a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game. Thus, it is the classic series, not the newer stuff, which is cool and has Virgil's voice actor as the Time Ranger. Fortunately, we don't have that one. But we do have Mighty Morphin. The thing about Power Rangers is you just turn your brain off when you're watching it. That's how you enjoy it best.
It's Super Sentai.
It is Super Sentai Action Hero Warriors, yes. I hope people, like, enjoyed the Netflix revival while it lasted, because, like, I don't think Hasbro understands how to actually handle the IP going forward. So, any content that we get related to this is just gonna be a treat.
Oh my god, Punch-Out!
Yeah, oh yeah, the battle bots! Yeah, I'm gonna love the whole, like, bot punching sequence here. Who doesn't love giant robot fights in their video games? Wonder if they'll have a remix of Knock You Down like it's Deltarune and Live Alive again. Probably not.
First off, I'm linking my brother Rita's Rewind because he was the Power Rangers fan in our family.
Heck yeah.
The obvious joke. There's a really stupid joke with the Power Ranger where it's like, they made the Black Ranger the black guy and the Yellow Ranger the Asian guy, and it's like, oh, okay, sure.
That is racist.
It's like, oh, sure. And we just accepted it because no one gave a shit. It was also just, like, not really that big of a deal because it's like, it's just the colors.
Exactly, right. It's, like, the most minimal thing about this. I love the features of this game that are described here. Pilot all of the original Dinozords. You better be good on that promise. I trust they'll be good on that.
I love games that, like, do multiple genres for different levels. Fucking ringtone. Chunky Fried Chicken.
Not to be confused with Kim Possible. Please do not confuse Power Rangers with Kim Possible.
I was gonna say, I was like, the beeping is making me feel like a different show. It's like, hang on.
I mean, yeah.
Brain
different
skipping
feature phone show. Anyway, that's what we have to say about that. We don't know anything else going on with the game because it's a Power Rangers game, but I played the fighting game. I believe it was Battle for the Grid, and that was a blast. And, like, a lot of the people that they get to actually make these games know a lot about the making good video games in general, and when we talked about this show last time, it was a few episodes ago, I believe. And yeah, Digital Eclipse is on it. They're gonna do a great job. We trust them. I'm gonna make Red play it with me. All the way through.
It's not like we haven't... Well, we still have to play through the Turtles and the Shredder's Revenge game.
Yeah, but we already did, though, I thought.
No, we haven't.
Not all of it.
We have not.
I thought
not
we played
all
through,
of
like,
it.
At least 75 to 80%.
No, absolutely not. We've got like I don't even know if we've gotten halfway or not.
Oh well, then we probably are further than we think.
We've not beaten that fucking game, and we are going to beat it. Clearly,
we're gonna do that back to back with this. How about that?
That sounds like it'd be That sounds exhausting, actually. Yes. Are you sure?
Absolute beat 'em up burnout.
You want to get put into burnout?
I want pain.
You want to get put into burnout? What is this, Street Fighter 6?
You saw how bad I was playing the other day. It's not too far-fetched.
I mean, you had an excuse.
Yeah.
You were mad because you got kicked out of the DJ tournament because of.
Okay, we can talk about the DJ tournament now. Capcom, please stop kicking people. Um, I entered a birthday tournament for DJ because every Street Fighter character now has a fictional birthday because everything's trying to be Genshin Impact. I don't know why, and I don't know how.
It's just a fun thing that place things do.
It's nice, I guess. And, I mean, Street
Like,
Fighter 2 characters had birthdays since, like, the first game on, like, the demo screen, so it's a thing.
do you know what? Do you know what game also has birthdays and they celebrate on those days?
What game, Red?
Puyo Puyo on Apple Arcade.
That's anime. That has more of an excuse, because that's closer to Genshin. I only use that as the example because I got forced into playing Genshin for a couple years of my life. That was interesting. Anyway, moving on from that. We are going to go talk about more of the DJ Gauntlet. Not to be confused with Lythero's video about that. Yeah, I got the vibe for the first round, and then I got paired up with someone that did not have a great connection, and I was immediately DC'd. And that was the entire tournament. Which is disappointing and infuriating because they had great setups for it. They actually captured the whole tournament experience in the Battle Hub. There's cabs designated for, like, pools. There's, like, a grand final stage. They actually get the energy pretty right as well, because you have to show up, like, 30 minutes to 5 minutes before you're actually assigned to begin the tournament. You know, like a real fighting game tournament. They get the feel right, and they just get the connectivity so wrong. And I keep hearing, like, commentators on Twitch talk about, like, oh, to actually, like, get good at Street Fighter nowadays, everyone's an online warrior. You gotta be all about that online warrior spirit. If you're there and you're participating, you're part of it. Well, guess what? I can't participate if it doesn't work.
Oof.
So that hurts.
And then I forced you to get into a voice chat so we could be mad together because I was like,
sure, yeah.
I was having issues downloading the DLC for Vampire Survivors,
which is our next topic here.
Steam was being very fucking stupid with me that night.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, you had to, like, close out of Steam and even restart your computer for it to actually get the files to download for an Ode to Castlevania in Vampire Survivor.
It was really Vampire Survivors.
Plural.
It's their new DLC that they released on Halloween, and they finally got the Castlevania crossover. I honestly didn't expect it because it's like the whole joke with Vampire Survivors is that it's a parody of Castlevania, right?
Yep. It's like got all the stuff, all the music you were saying is named after, like, the tarot cards, and they, like, do riffs off of the stuff.
No, the tarot cards are named after music from Castlevania.
I said that backwards.
So you have, like, the Mad Forest card called Mad Groove teleports all the items to you as an example. But just like it's a number of those things over and over again. There's like Silent Old Sanctuary instead of Sinking Old Sanctuary. Just, you know, shit like that. And there's obviously, like, you have your whip weapons, you have your not Belmonts, you have your not Alucard.
There is so much in the game that just already kind of mimics the Castlevania sort of feel and formula.
It mimics it on a visual and, like, thematic standpoint, but the actual gameplay is so not Castlevania.
It is roguelike. It is just, like, it's very grindy, which is that gameplay style.
I mean, this game kind of kickstarted a whole ass genre too.
Yep.
Bullet Heaven, where you are the source of all the bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with a horde of enemies and just destroying them.
God, you remind me of a game that actually was called Bullet Heaven. I believe you went through, like, different generations of, like, bullet hells as they came to be more modern. Like, you went through the original Space Invaders, and then it goes all the way to Toho.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't the person who made Bullet Heaven the guy behind, like, the epic battle fantasy
I get these two confused all the time. Hold on. I think it was, like, there's one associated with Bullet Heaven that's like that. I'm talking about, like, a Japanese indie game. That one is a Flash game.
Yeah, the one I'm thinking of is also a Flash game. made by the guy behind that epic Battle Fantasy series. So I remember
Right.
playing it and doing like a couple levels and being like, yeah, this isn't my shebang.
Fun fact, the bullet hell genre in Japan is called danmaku.
Yes. Danmaku.
Yes. Oh yeah, it was called Genitos. This is a really interesting one, yeah.
Fuck are you talking about?
Look at this, Red. Look at this video. This is the game that I thought was Bullet Heaven in my head, but like these two like actually were really close in time when they were released. So Bullet Heaven was released around the time of this, but this is a game that steps through like each of the generations of shmups,
Oh.
evolving all the way through like Radius and things like that, all the way to like modern Toho. Well, back into 2000s
Nice.
modern Toho.
Yeah.
It's actually just a little fascinating game in and of itself. You just get to see all the history of it, and it's just like got the big chunky sidebars like an old school cave shmup. It's great.
Yeah. I'll have to watch that video. Because I just from hearing you describe it, I think I understand where it's like the.
Oh, guess who the video I linked was made by?
Oh my god, it's Slow Beef!
Yes. This is probably where I saw it first.
It's him.
It's him.
He will continue to be him.
And he will never be true shit. Ever again.
The bad, the bad, and the bad.
Yes.
I think that's like one of my favorite fake name they came up for it. Anyways, I was talking about fucking Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, I got off on a crazy tangent with that. This game takes place in the mirror world.
Oh no! The way they frame Castlevania and Vampire Survivors is that they're mirror worlds of each other.
Yes.
Like that's how the trailer treats it, where like you're watching your not Belmont do battle with all the creatures of the night, and then you go through, and then you look at a mirror, and it's like the camera pans to a mirror, and there's Simon Belmont, or I think it's Simon or Richter. I don't fucking know. It's some Belmont. I've forgotten.
It's just some Belmont, but guess what? If you don't know which Belmont it is, all of them are here.
All of them, all 8 of them.
Yes.
And also, like, the character list that you see when you, like, boot up and you have all the characters and, like, oh, they're all silhouetted, so you can't tell who's who. Or you can tell. There are also hidden characters that you'll slowly unlock, and they'll just be placed right in. So there's a whole bunch of other characters, too.
Indeed.
I can't wait to unlock them.
Yeah,
So
there is
really
a
funny.
lot more to see with this game. There's also a lot more to hear with the soundtrack. Oh my god, they covered so much Castlevania history, not just in the characters that they're featuring, but in the music.
Hell yeah.
It has been quite interesting to see Ponsel upload to YouTube, like, every day pretty much, like 2 or 3 tracks from the game.
The Ponsel or Ponkel?
This is
It's
a grammar
Poncle.
Yeah, Ponsel.
Ponkel or Ponsel?
I always called it Ponsel. Like
This
tonsil.
is Poncle, you know? But it's an LE, it's a CLE. That's
Ponsel?
I'm gonna fucking stab you.
Ponsel?
But anyways, like just they've had 2 other crossover DLCs as well. The first one being Among Us.
I've not heard anything about like how they handled the Among Us one or Inner Sloths crossover.
I have all the DLCs. I just haven't touched that one yet. I'm like slowly working my way through all the content. I just unlocked the Dark Hasso, and fuck unlocking it. That stage sucks.
One of those hidden characters.
Not a hidden character, hidden mechanic.
Ah, okay.
But it is very useful because it's a whole set of other cards I can use to buff my run. All I know is I'm trying to work my way through the DLCs and the achievements I've left behind because I like 100% in my save file 20 versions ago. So I'm like out several achievement, like over 100 achievements to go until I have 100% of my save file again. Very lots of content.
Lots of it kind of very worth lots of grinding. $5 for this game.
Yes.
That's it. Just like Operation Guns, I joined in Red for a couple of sessions here.
Oh yeah. All right. Operation Guns is the second crossover DLC with Contra.
Yes, and we covered that extensively on one of our episodes some time ago. I believe it was like 25.
I still love when you kill the boss, the boss that spawns at like 25 minutes. When you kill him, the White Death comes for him instead of you. It's very funny.
Haha.
They have a whole bunch of music. They have a whole bunch of characters. And they literally made the "everyone is here" joke like they're Smash Brothers, and then they started drip feeding the fucking music again like they're Smash Brothers.
Yep. The music releases were staggered, just like a Smash Dojo sort of thing from days of old. You would get a couple of tracks every day. And, like, the remixes were done by, like, independent video game music artists, which love to see it and love to hear it.
Some of it was, like, done in-house by their own composer. But they had two, I know they had two guest artists. One of which, okay, so the one is the Noble Demon, who also did Nightmare Kart's OST. And then the other one is Keegan Church, who did Ultra Kill.
A little bit of a game. Kind of a big deal for a lot of people.
Praise the Code, all that jazz.
Yeah. Did he do Aquarius, the remix for Aquarius?
Yes, he did the remix for Aquarius.
Yes, hell yeah. Yeah, we jammed out to that on one of our playthroughs here, and that was just like a bop. Love that.
And oh my god, the map for Dracula's Castle is absurdly large. Like, in order for us to get through it, I had to turn on the Endless mode, which is an unlock with a relic. And it basically disables the Red Death from being a bitch.
Yes. If you don't want to know what's in Dracula's Castle, spoilers, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna warn about that.
You have to... And I still have yet to get everything, because there's, like, a hidden boss I have to find.
There's hidden areas, hidden bosses. There's a 2D section where you have to fight the doppelganger from Soten. That was cool.
And if you're playing multiplayer, then you each get a doppelganger as well. So it's like 2 doppelgangers when we were playing.
4 for the price of 2.
But God, it's just... They know what they're doing, and I love the game so much. I'm remembering why I had to take such a long break from it, because it's like I do a run, and it takes a whole ass half an hour. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll turn on the hurry mode so it goes twice as fast, and then it's just like... Oh god, I'm starting to realize I can just fucking I can pause the game and just leave the run whenever I'm done. I don't have to fucking finish it.
It's a half an hour in-game, and then Red Death always kills you. But it's also just, like, time spent upgrading stuff. So it's still, like, a good 45 minutes per run, if you don't turn on hurry up.
Yeah, and the real kicker is the idea is that I'm just trying to finish the achievements, right? And if I finish an achievement within, like, 10 minutes, then I can choose not to do the rest of the run and just leave and get the achievement. Like, I can just do that. Like, I don't have to fucking sit there and do a full run each time. I can take my time. Also, when I first started playing Vampire Survivors, I was happy to experiment and try and see if I can't find all the evolutions myself. That enjoyment has gone, and now I just look up a guide, because it's like I don't got the time to be trying everything in the hopes that I find the evolution by random chance.
I think that you're not the only one that has that approach, because, like, with how many new characters they keep releasing per DLC, there's a lot of evolutions. All of the
new weapons, too.
And new weapons, and evolutions, and new combinations. How is anyone supposed to know this stuff?
And you're just supposed to play until you accidentally stumble upon it, or like think, okay, I need to try. I tried these passives and it didn't evolve. Let's try these passives.
To be fair, the game does tell you what things would evolve.
Once you've found them once. Yes. The real kicker is that some of them have like other stipulations, like all the Contra weapons require a weapon upgrade as well, and then some weapons require the passive to also be max level and not just the weapon, which is like, real fun to have to figure that out on your own.
I think my favorite one that we found out was Julius's. No. Julius has like a crazy whip that does crazy damage. That's fun enough to code right. But the character you were playing had a Hydrostorm attack, which is great. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had the flaming cross thingy. Yeah, but he also had, and his whip was the dangly whip.
Yes. It was the dangly whip from Super Castlevania 4.
The thing that they keep bringing back is like, fucking why not?
It does a crap ton of damage too. It's fun.
It's pretty powerful.
Yes.
But yeah, you got like the flaming cross thingy. I don't know what that. I think that's used in Julius's game or Selma's game, where you have Julius mode.
Maybe.
And yeah, like you have when you evolve a weapon, a lot of the evolutions are like item crashes. I forgot what my character was that had it. I think it was the dragon. It was the water dragon whip.
Oh,
Some of her has that. So whoever has that, when you evolve their weapon, they get Hydrostorm, and that's hilarious. But yeah, like I still have to like evolve other weapons. I evolved. I managed to evolve the Alchemy Whip, which is that's Trevor Belmont. Oh no, that's no. Who's before Trevor?
The first Belmont ever. The guy from the PS2 game.
Yeah, Lament of Innocence. That guy. I evolved the Alchemy Whip into the Vampire Killer, which requires the Tirajisu. So many weapons require that stupid thing.
The first Belmont was
like,
Leon Belmondo.
There you go.
Wait, Belmondo? No, I just read the wiki. Leon Belmont.
You're getting yourself a little bit mixed up.
That is the Japanese translation. Yes, yeah. Literal. Anyway.
I will say, but also right next to the Belmonts is Simondo Belmont from Contra Hardcore from the hidden ending.
Stark in comparison now that we have these characters, right?
He's so fucking funny that like they have the character from the hidden ending in that. And he's just right next to all the other Belmonts, like he's supposed to be there.
Just kidding, unless. This episode is brought to you by us. We work hard in making an exciting show each week, chaos included. Check out the links in the show notes for ways to help support the show. This includes our coffee page, which you can find at ko-fi.com/mask31. God, this DLC is fun. I'm glad they came out with it. It made Halloween a lot of fun for the both of us here.
You have to like hunt down each of the bosses to like find the thing that lets you continue through the castle. Once you get it, you have it forever, so you can just bum rush to the areas you've unlocked and not have to go through every boss again.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, if you don't kill the bosses, then you don't get their chests, and you need those chests to evolve things. You know,
you need to get the items. You got to get the power ups. You got to fill the screen with bullets so everything dies before they can even like blink. Get a run where you kill death.
Oh yeah, the runs where you kill
Castlevania death. That would be too stark.
Red death. Red death. You can. The typical way you want to do that is once you've gotten the relic that lets you have the rings and the cloak, you grab those items, max them out, and also grab the clock lancet and the laurel and max them out, because then they evolve. If you evolve both the clock lancet and the laurel, you will have their abilities will make it so you can easily kill Red Death at the very end of the run.
Oh baby!
It's like the clock lancet, the evolved clock lancet continuously halves the enemy's HP whenever it hits, and then the evolved laurel forces all damage you take to be capped to 10, which is
means
when
an enemy can't kill you.
When Red Death has like millions of HP and one shots you. Being able to constantly have that millions of HP and also reduce his one-hit kill to 10 damage each time, kind of really good for killing him, actually, as it turns out.
Absolutely. What happens if you do kill Red Death? Do you just, like, end the run for yourself, or does White Death come in?
Well, what happens is Red Death drops like 5 golden eggs or permanent stat increases for that character, and then White Death appears and kills you. He's like, all right, you need to go. You need to leave. Get out of here.
Actual death approacheth.
Get the fuck out of here. Yes. You're done with your run.
Yes. But yeah, we would recommend this DLC just like the Contra one. Lots of fun.
This game has always been like cheap. You can like, for fuck's sake, they have 2 versions on the Apple on an iPhone. One of which is like a normal download and it's free to download, as it turns out. Fun fact. And then they have a second version on Apple Arcade, which is Vampire Survivors Plus. I don't even know what's different about that one, but I could probably download it and get back to you on that at some point.
Give it a shot. You're the Apple guru
really
here.
Fucking
I just have an Android phone, so I wouldn't know. I did see that they had an Android version too, though, and it's like really cheap.
It's just a straight up fucking and it's just mobile phones. Who gives a shit? Like they're not going to stick around.
Still a thing.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Yeah. That Castlevania mobile game is still an Apple Arcade. I want to play more of it, but it's so fucking. It doesn't run well on my phone because it's kind of old, and I kind of need to use a controller. I prefer to play it on a controller because I don't like touchscreen buttons. They suck.
You need to get yourself an Apple TV.
And that fucking Castlevania mobile game re-released for Apple Arcade to remove all the gotcha bullshit. Honestly, I really like the characters interacting with one another because it also pulls from like a ton of history of Castlevania, and you have them talk to each other because there's a story, and Simon gets summoned, sees Alucard, his vampire killer whip starts reacting. He's like, "Stand back, miss, I'll take care of this vampire." And then he's just like,
oh my gosh.
it's like, "Hey, I'm Alucard." It's like, "Oh my god, you mean from Trevor's lifetime? Goddamn." Shit.
Yes.
Never mind. I live for stuff from like the Brawl Subspace Emissary, where Mr. Game & Watch gets Peach's parasol and shit like that. Peach offers Sheik and Fox tea.
The tea time, yes. Subspace Emissary's storyline, by retrospective, has aged quite fine. It's still kind of like
gameplay,
boring gameplay-wise because it's Brawl. Like, what's the best it can do? But
there's
nothing else
Brawl
like it in any other Smash game nowadays. World of Light is fun, but only so much.
It's like a mission pack.
Yeah.
World of Light is like a mission pack. But I will say it's not just the fact that it's Brawl, it's the fact that it's like it's a lot of, I don't know, it's the gameplay just leaves a lot to be desired. It's like they didn't quite know how to make it engaging.
Right.
And the sticker system, who the fuck uses the sticker system other than like a speed run or something?
Even then, it's just like, I'm glad that they made the system flexible. It really helped modders get Hydro Remix off the ground. The less I say about that, the better. I don't want to talk about that mod, because Nintendo might shut it down. The ninjas are coming for you.
Don't fucking make reports on this shit, god damn it.
Yeah. Nintendo, in their ever-loving brilliance, though, recently, moving away from Castlevania, by the way, even though I wanted to talk about the Netflix series.
And Vampire Survivors. We can get back to the Netflix series, no problem. Just go off about Nintendo Music.
Nintendo Music! Who wanted an app where you just put a Nintendo playlist on Spotify? Why would Nintendo trust anyone to put their playlist on Spotify? Why would Nintendo trust Sony Music to actually work on soundtracks again? Because that's the situation that led to the Sony PlayStation.
I'm just like laughing. They're still butthurt. The reason why they don't work with Sony, PlayStation, they're still mad about it.
They are still very mad about it, and they have the lawyers now to prove it.
Yeah, Nintendo Music is just their own music streaming app,
and
it's like, why? Like, why? I don't get it. But you can like, it's got that like slight Nintendo touch to it, where it's like, oh, you can listen to certain music for specific characters, including Wiggler.
Get that Wiggler music fix in. You know you've been having it.
And I wonder. Also, there's like an issue where they don't have the composer's credits, of course.
Oh, wow. So it's actually missing artist credits there.
Yep.
That's pretty damning. Wow, that's a big problem.
Pretty fucking stupid. You can also listen to stuff by the in-game bands, like obviously for Splatoon, where it's like, oh, you want to listen to the Squid Sisters? You want to listen to this specific band from Splatoon? Well, they have a playlist for it. It's very stupid.
It's kind of cute though.
It is. It's like it's that level of like Nintendo touch. Where they're like, you see how out of touch they can be, and also like the whimsy behind them.
Yeah, the whimsy and the magic, that Disney sort of thing going on there.
And just like Disney, damn, do they do some evil shit sometimes?
And just like Disney as well, half the music I want to listen to isn't even on there. No Wario Land 4 soundtrack. I'm gone. Nope.
They're saying apparently like on their upcoming soundtracks they have Mario 64 because it's not on there.
Wow, that is a mission.
We have very little music at the moment, but they're promising they'll add more. And if it's as long as it takes them to put fucking new NSO music on, not music, but games as it takes for them to put music on, I'm going to question what the fuck they're doing, because it's music. It's a lot easier to, do. Also, they have like Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem music, and it is bit crushed as hell still.
They didn't remaster anything for this.
To be fair, maybe they kept it bit crushed to keep it like to the original. Like, oh, it was we made this music with the idea that it'll be bit crushed, so we might as well keep it that way. It's like, yeah, that's fair.
Well,
I still don't like it.
You might as well just record it on an iPhone Just put the microphone just jammed into a speaker somewhere and just put that out for broadcast. It's like, yep, there's the soundtrack you were waiting for. Right?
Yeah. I could just God, they really it is so weird. It is really funny because I chose like a pumped up soundtrack playlist, and I immediately got like the battle theme from a Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem, and it's just like,
Ha.
damn. What a start. All right. It looks like a lot of their music is mostly recency bias,
Right.
and also mostly Splatoon because I'm assuming, I don't know, they
An
probably just got
unfortunate
that
lack
shit
of
done.
preservation just tracks for Nintendo at this point. They can release an
see.
alarm clock that's like a concept that's fully Nintendo in good and bad, and then they can release a music map on the same kind of like whimsy of it. But they can't release the Switch 2. That's the only thing you can't.
Hey.
Nintendo can't count to 2.
That's what the Alarmo can do.
What can the Alarmo do, Red?
Run Doom.
I figured.
I saw a tweet. I saw that tweet about it, and I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
I am
Doom
fully
forever.
expected this to happen.
I love the time that's like someone from Japan, a Japanese person on Twitter, was just like learning about getting everything to run Doom and being completely baffled about it. Like, why the fuck does everyone? Why are they all obsessed with running Doom on things?
Why did
someone
someone? Why can't they just all like Bad Apple instead? Going back to Tohu.
Exactly. No, did someone literally respond with like, just think of it like people putting stuff into putting Bad Apple into all the things.
Yeah, like a QR
that.
code.
Like, fuck it.
I showed you last week the QR code Bad Apple. It was fantastic. Now I get to show everyone else.
Because I made the joke with like one of the later versions, and it looks like you can. I was like, you could put Bad Apple on that. It's like way ahead of you.
Yep.
Motherfuckers.
That brings us into what else Nintendo made a QR code out of. Yes, we're on a Nintendo binge this week, I suppose. Animal Crossing is dying. Your town is actually on fire. We already knew this, but even in more news,
it's reincarnating. Let's be real here.
Yeah, but you're still never gonna get to all of those weeds. They're just there forever. That's an aesthetic choice. Deal with it.
Also, it's not Animal Crossing. It's a very specific Animal Crossing.
Yep. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is going out of service in November here, and they're releasing a new offline version of the app in December. It's Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete. Yes.
They could have called it Pocket Camplete.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bop. So Pocket Camp Complete is going to carry over all of the progress and levels and things that you've been doing with your townsfolk and villagers for probably most of like 2017 to 2019, because that's when the game was popular. That's when I actually had some friends that played.
Yeah, I remember just adding a bunch of randos to try and like get people to buy my shit.
Yep, I've still got a list of those, and there's 4 that are still active. Bless them.
Anyways, they're removing the trading feature, or like the fact that you could set up your fucking stall and have like, oh, do you have a lot of this fruit? You can do the thing that every Animal Crossing game has, where like you have a very specific fruit that's more abundant, and I usually would like put that in my stall and sell it for to people who need it.
Yep, I cleaned out some bells from some of my old sales.
Yeah,
it's nice to have that feature. Trading is nice.
Yeah, that multiplayer feature is going to go away for Complete, unfortunately. Which is like, I'm sad about that because it was like a mainstay of what Animal Crossing would always do with the like you have specific items that certain players will have more of. So obviously you want to give them a way to like help each other out and give the stuff they need. And it's always like fruit. It's always fruit. Always.
Always fruit. Never fish.
Because you can just catch those.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Wild World for increasing the rare creatures, the rare creature amount whenever you're playing multiplayer or whatever.
I mean, yeah, that's actually a great thing to just encourage people to go online and make friends. I love when multiplayer games had that sort of spirit back then. Animal Crossing was a wholesome experience all around for that.
Oh god, you just made me remind me of fucking New Leaf when you go to the multiplayer, the online islands, and you can find a bunch of rare bugs and fish there.
Oh,
That was a lot of fun. I remember like purposely going online to try and find like nighttime islands for the best shit, or like it was very. I remember doing that shit. I remember seeing Japanese players with like nearly all the stamps, and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You scare me. You scare me.
Someone bought the moon.
Hey, I did that in Wild World.
I know. I missed out on the Wii game. I played a little bit of Wild World, and that was it. And a classic on GameCube prior to all this.
Oh yeah, well, it was a classic on the N64 first.
Yes, true. Demetsu no Mori.
Yeah.
That game has only a few differences. The GameCube version, though, only that one has NES games and Game Boy Advance compatibility with the island, which was different. It wasn't spectacle. You had to be there for it.
The Game Boy Advance island, where you can dupe a bunch of shit.
Pretty much. Everyone used it for duping. That was about it. Although there were multiple ways to dupe in Animal Crossing, and there always have been, and there always will be. Except for Pocket Camp, which is, like, maybe they'll change it into complete? Probably not. They're taking away league tickets and trading incentives and all the bonus gobbledygook gotcha stuff.
Of course they're going to take away the premium currency, because now it's going to be none of that. You're just going to get, like, you get Leaf tokens now, which you get from just playing the game.
Yes,
which is a market improvement over premium currency,
indeed,
if you ask me.
Yes.
And, as it turns out, all the events will run on a cycle over a couple, I forget how long the span is, maybe like 3 or 4 years for all the events to cycle.
Yep.
Which is a very long fucking time, to be honest.
It's still trying to do the real-time clock thing. Christmas is going to be on Christmas. Halloween's going to be on Halloween, etc., etc.
But here's the thing, though. You can also get the stuff that's from the events, outside of the events, using another currency that you can find.
Yes.
So they know it. They figured it out. I hope.
I hope they figured it out too, because the game is shutting down as we know it, and they've replaced it, which is good for preservation and just not crying over your island being gone forever or becoming a weed-infested hellscape.
Or just like realizing that a bunch of players spent a bunch of money on your game, and if it goes away forever, then it's like, shit, we need to keep that around.
Putting the ass in covering your assets.
They'll basically just, I don't know what the word I'm thinking of is, but basically just like keeping the goodwill alive. Oh, it's 12 o'clock. Thank you, Watch.
Alright, so we got through a lot, but there's one more thing to get through, and that is, where the heck have we been the last couple weeks? Well, we're gonna go off schedule. I have a new job starting soon, which means also burnout. Yeah, we talked about the burnout last week, but like, we don't have to make ourselves make a podcast every week for people, but I think it's very important that we keep upholding the show and talking when there's always something to talk about. And with that, we are not going to go our separate ways. We are still going to be best friends here, doing our thing. We're not going to ask for guests on our show, but we might be open to more in the future. But it was a lot of effort to organize, I will say. But we're very thankful for the guests that we have our show. We still need to get your brother on here at one point, though.
Yes,
that would be fun in more ways than one.
And you get to see. I wonder if we'll get mad at each other like we do on stream.
Of course.
He and I. I put him through Gotcha.
Laughing my way through it.
I put him through Gotcha Champ.
Yes.
And he was mad at me for it. And then he did 2 salty runbacks. Like, what's wrong with him?
Not 1, but 2, and then he got revenge in like a couple games, but that was it, because you still won.
He hard read one of those, and I was like, God damn it.
Yes. But yeah, as for the future of the Reddmasq Podcast, it is going here, there, and everywhere. Case in point, I have returned to my roots, it seems. There is a game that has done that to me, and that game is Sonic X Shadow Generations. I have started writing guides and participating in the community for speedrunners with the game. Although the community is giga at this point. It's kind of massive. There's a few hundred people actually running the game right now, because it's one of Sega's million sellers. It's a big game! It's a much bigger deal than anything that I grew up with, where it's just like, oh, hey, we have like 6 or 12 people researching this game and putting in the work and writing guides and documenting things. The times have changed so powerfully with speedrunning. It's almost humbling in a way. It makes an old man cry. Not saying I'm the old man, but I am in this situation here. But here's the
The
thing,
future
like,
is now, old man.
I really am having a lot of fun with the game. The boost mechanics, the Havoc engine stuff, the fact that the game itself is 12 years old, like based off a 12-year-old engine, and like still working great. The Hedgehog engine performs wonderfully, and shadow control's very tight. The movement is very on point. I am having a lot of fun reprising all of the stuff that I used to do here, and I hope the community continues to enjoy what I continue to put out there. And I have a couple of nice streamers that I like following now. One streamer goes by the name of N. I'm seeing people like Critical Sid, Flying Fox come back to the game. I'm seeing people like Shadow Jackie still working hard as the admin of the Sonic community as a whole and the Sonic Center. Shoutouts to that. But I'm seeing just the whole like community again, and just there's things to be had here. There's times to be had. There is a future here. There is a future in
There is
speedrunning
time.
for the guest.
There's times to be had and times to be beaten.
Yes. Oh, by the way, the gameplay for Shadow Generations is fantastic. I've already mentioned it. The music choices are spot on. The way you actually get like some of the cosmetics and like props. You have like the classic note chasing from Sonic Generations. You have the like. Okay, there's one fetch quest that's really annoying, but like overall the rest of them are good. That annoying one being the rocket ship building with Orbot and Cubot. There's no radar in the game, so you actually have to hunt around the open world map, and there's always something to do on that open world map. It's very engaging. It's very good.
A further reward is going to make you mad.
Really? Is it like the reward for Breath of the Wild? Finding all the Kokoris?
Maybe, I don't know. I just remember someone did it and it's like it ends in a joke. They're just like, fuck.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look this one up later then.
Also,
Yes.
how do you feel about the Chow?
Oh yeah, the Heroes. I did try Sonic Generations too. Oh, you'll get the Casino Night Zone, which is nice, and the bonus skins for
Pinball.
Sonic Jam and Sonic Adventure 1 on Classic and Modern Sonic are very nice. But yeah, the Chow are handled super well because you have basically just like already raised Chow that you're hunting for, 3 of each in each level of Classic Generations.
They're collectibles.
They're
and
the
all
collectibles
different.
of
They're
the
all
game,
like
yes. To supplement the Red
they're all
Rings,
like-
they're another type of collectible. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me
They're
of
all like
like
different
Super Mario
forms.
Brothers Deluxe, the Game Boy Color one. Do you remember that, Red?
yes.
This is actually that to a T. Like you have 5 red rings, 5 red coins, and then you have to hunt for 3
Challenge
Chow,
mode.
and then Yoshi
The
eggs.
challenge mode.
Yeah, and then
It's
the challenge.
challenge mode. And you get to see like hints based on like,
Yeah.
God, where's the Game Boy printer?
Oh my god, the fucking printer. Hey, Red.
You
You
can
versus Boo.
print out. Oh God, I loved that stupid mode. Have you seen the TAS of that?
I
It's
have
kind of
not.
funny.
That'll be a fun watch. We gotta do that later.
It's also pretty fast because it's only like 8 levels.
Heck yeah, yeah. And like the times get progressively harder. There's a green boo, a red boo, the black boo, which is the staff time.
Yeah, the final boo is basically whatever your best time is.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, once you've gotten through all the boos, the remaining boo color is just whatever your best time is.
So the black boo is actually your personal boost.
Shut the fuck up,
Never. That was brilliant. And you got to witness it.
boo! Brilliant.
Yes. Mario Deluxe came like, what, 12 years after like Mario... Actually, like 14 years after Mario 1, and captured that same energy that Shadow Generations has with this game. I mean, they did a fantastic job, but the game is also broken. But it's broken in the best way for speedrunners to kind of pick apart and work with in their own free time, which
It's
teaches
broken
people
in
a
the
lot of
speed
great
game
skills.
way.
I love
It's
that.
broken in the speed
I
game
adore
way.
that. I need more of it in my life, which is why I've decided to return and reprise everything that I've had with this. Just with this game specifically. Everything else, I don't know about. But I am in love with Shadow Generations. This game has something special going on, and I want the world to know.
Hey, can you clip out that part where you say "I love Shadow" and just clip it there?
No. But I can clip in Black Doom saying Radical Highway is so cool.
Radical Highway is so cool.
What?
There's a lot of that. If you're like not keen on Radical Highway, then like I'd say avoid it. Also, there's a lack of Shadow the Hedgehog representation. That is the game. Yeah, I don't know why they decided to not include that, but they did include a Sonic 06 boss.
Oh yeah, and he
The
tries to use the
retcon
move,
is actually reversed just for this boss. It's funny.
and he immediately tries to use the move that killed Sonic. He's like, I'm not putting up with this shit.
Yes.
Both of the throat immediately.
Deals him in the scepter
he-
after the fight, and that's that. It is fun
he's,
to
like,
see
fighting you 'cause
that other hedgehog again.
It's so funny because he literally says he's fighting to exist again.
Yes.
Like,
erased from both their memories and the timeline. Let's see, what else? Future Mask wants everyone to know about Gerald's journal in the Sonic Battle lore. Really nice. Doomorph sucks. Everyone knows it, speedrunners know it. That squid form is just, like, a tank controlling thing. But hey, a shadow's a squid.
you're a squid, you're a hedgehog now. Wait.
Yes. There's a DLC coming out on the 12th to Keanu Reeves. That's gonna be awkward as hell. I hope they don't patch anything else. And the Switch port is great too. There's no, like, port differences between, like, PC and Switch. So play whichever version you want. The Switch port is pretty much spot on. There's a few performance drops in, like, levels where you're getting a lot of action. Sunset Heights from Forces is probably the most notable one because of all the Death Egg robots walking around. You'll get like 30 FPS on that, and it's 720p. If you want the highest quality, just play the PC version. But yeah, just play the version that you want to play with this. I like playing this on my Switch because I can just play it in bed. Or when I'm making food. Or doing whatever. It's very easy and convenient.
In bed.
Shut the fuck up.
You didn't shut the fuck up when I said that, so I'm not gonna listen.
Okay, true. Do you have anything to say about Shadow Generations, Red? Anything that you've seen about it? Anything that you like about what I've shown you?
I'm fucking trash at every Sonic game. I've never been able to beat one. I love the
okay.
Chow Garden, though.
Honestly, play Shadow Generations. Unless you don't want 4-hour games that cost $50. Which I totally get. And you know what? I think that's our show. We covered a lot of things. We had a lot of fun, Red. What are your takeaway thoughts on this? We probably hear from us in about 4 months, so leave the viewers with some words of inspiration here.
My is very large.
I'm gonna have to censor that. God.
You opened the floodgates on that one. It's not my fault. You're dumb.
Of all times to say that?
There's a scam.
Yeah, everyone's going to at the sound of that. Now I have 6 things to censor. Thank you very much.
Why are you also saying things you have to censor?
And that's our show, folks. Thank you for listening to episode 30 of the Reddmasq Podcast. Bye-bye now. Thank you for listening to this episode. We are hosted on mask31.dev/the-Reddmasq-podcast. You can also find us on Pocket Casts and wherever great podcasts are found.